Lagos State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget holds sensitization workshop on social protection policy. Federal Executives Council approves 47.9 trillion naira as 2025 budget estimates. On front in Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of war crime with forced displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. And in sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles through to 2025 AFCON. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget has organized a sensitization workshop for council managers on social protection policy from the 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas of the state. Special advisor to the governor on economic planning and budget, Lekan Balogun, said the workshop aligns with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration's Themes Plus agenda, particularly in efforts to reduce poverty. Balogun also noted that the event marks a significant milestone in the state's commitment to enhancing the well-being of its citizens through the implementation of social protection policies.
At this crucial point, it is important to note that many organizations, including the federal government, agencies of WAPA, SDG, Social Scholarship Board, and others, public bodies inclusive, philanthropists, development partners like UNDP, UN Women, and so on, are currently supporting this body of work and also mining the record, their various attesting to the credibility of the register. Furthermore, Lagos State government on the own part has been intentional about realizing the work of social sector by increasing funding the sector at state level, while the distribution of the 7 desktop computers to the CBT team at the 7 LG.
Earlier in a welcome address, Director of the Ministry, Uju Olainka, emphasized that the workshop provided a crucial platform for discussing and strengthening the effective implementation of social protection policies, reflecting Lagos State's commitment to aligning its local policies with the national social welfare agenda.
In the larger plan of the Lagos State Development Plan 2052, which we are aware of, protection of our people is a key program. It's a 4-bucket development plan that talks about a thriving economy, talks about human-centric city, modern infrastructure. If you are talking about human-centric city, we are talking about a city that has capacity, to thrive its economy.
In his goodwill message, Social Policy Manager, United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Mohammed Ukuri, encouraged all stakeholders to work together to create a sustainable and inclusive system that addresses the needs of the most marginalized communities. At the workshop, which attracted key stakeholders, participants took part in a series of sessions led by experts in social policy, community engagement, and policy implementation. Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has taken a step towards pushing for the improvement of the emergency response for health facilities and emergency services. Permanent Secretary LASEMA, Olufemi Oke Osoyintolu, stated this during the development of Management and Emergency Victims Protocol Technical Interactive Session. Oke Osoyintolu said the objective of the program is to articulate the emergency preparedness and response protocol for healthcare facilities in Lagos State. He said it would include building the capacity of health facilities in emergency response, articulate a clear and actionable emergency preparedness and response protocol specifically for healthcare facilities, and also deal with the empowerment of healthcare providers, ensuring that victims receive timely and effective care.
The key factor in emergency management is communication. And today we want to establish holistic protocol, which is going to make our communication not only be effective, it will be efficient. So we will be speaking the same language. Rules and responsibility will be defined. So with this, we discover that it's a way of ginger up our response system, it's a way of ginger up our preparedness, and it's a way of being on top of challenges.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Segun Ogundeko, said the agencies are looking forward to being efficiently responsive and available to deal with any emergency situation without any form of delay or issues.
Lagos State Emergency Management Agency has been in the forefront of emergency responses for Lagos State, and is one of that agency that is qualified to take oversight when there are issues of emergencies or disasters. I would say that they've been very responsive. They are adequately spread enough to be able to attend to emergency within a very short while.
LASEMA, in collaboration with Health Facility Monitoring and Accreditation Agency, HIFAMA, is proposing to work with public and private healthcare providers in Lagos State to develop and implement emergency preparedness and response guidelines or protocols. The Lagos State Wastewater Management Office has continued to demonstrate its dedication to ensuring credible and sustainable wastewater management in the state with a clampdown on a property on Ajiboye Street off Agege Motor Road, Mushi, for discharging raw sewage into the public drains. The Enforcement and Compliance Unit, EC of the agency, sealed the property and arrested the 7 occupiers of the property for prosecution at the Special Offences Court. Officials of the ECU had earlier visited the property and warned the occupants to desist from the deplorable act and construct a proper sewage system, but the owner and occupier refused to correct the abnormality. General Manager of the agency, Adifemi Afolabi, while speaking on the development, maintained that the arrested offenders will be prosecuted in line with the provisions of the law to serve as a deterrent to others, as the agency remains undeterred in its efforts at ensuring a clean and healthy environment in the state. Ahead of Ondo State's governorship election on Saturday, security agencies have reinforced measures to ensure a peaceful electoral process, deploying extensive personnel and resources to maintain law and order across the state. The Defense Headquarters announced the deployment of troops to the border areas and flashpoints in a coordinated effort to support the Nigeria Police Force and ensure the smooth conduct of the election. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Buba Edward, the deployment is meant to deter any interference with the voting process and keep troublemakers at bay. Edward noted that troops would also assist in the transport of sensitive election materials for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. 17 political parties are fielding candidates in the election. In a related development, Ogun State government has declared today as a work-free day to enable civil servants to travel to their local government and participate in Saturday's local government election. The announcement was made in a circular signed by the head of service, Kendi Onosoya. The government also announced that movement of people and vehicles will be restricted during the election on Saturday. The local government election, organized by the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, will see the election of chairpersons for the 20 local government areas and councillors for its 236 wards. And now to the rest of the stories. Lawmakers will anytime from now receive the 2025 appropriation bill from the executive following the approval of a 47.9 trillion naira 2025 budget estimate by the Federal Executive Council, FEC. The FEC also approved the Medium-Term Expedition Framework, MTEF, for 2025 to 2027 in accordance with the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007. The MTEF is a prerequisite passage by the lawmakers before the debate on and passage of the budget. The meeting also reviewed the outgoing year's budget performance and gave its implementation a pass mark. The 2025 budget estimate is 20 trillion naira higher than the 27.5 trillion naira for the outgoing year. As the rainy season continues across Nigeria, the International Organization for Migration, IOM, is releasing an additional $668,000 through the Rapid Response Fund to support emergency humanitarian relief for flood-affected communities. The IOM in a statement noted that the new funding would support localized humanitarian operations by IOM's partners, Relief Rescue Initiative, Safer World Foundation, and Community Engagement and Social Development Initiative in Jigawa, Katsina, and Bauchi states, where tens of thousands of people are grappling with the impact of the catastrophic floods. In October, IOM finalized the allocation of an initial $1.8 million to 9 local and international non-governmental organizations to support emergency response to the floods. And more than 1.3 million people have been affected by floods this year in 30 states across Nigeria, with at least 320 people killed and an estimated 258,000 hectares of farmland destroyed. And in some foreign news, Human Rights Watch, HRW, has accused Israel of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity by deliberately causing the mass displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. According to the UN, about 1.9 million people, 90% of Gaza's population, have fled their homes over the past year, and 79% of the territory is under Israeli-issued evacuation orders. HRW's report says this amounts to forcible transfer and that evidence shows it has been systematic and part of a state policy. It also says Israeli actions appear to meet the definition of ethnic cleansing. In response, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, said in a statement that the reports both selectively present information in a manner that obscures context as well as makes certain blatant misrepresentations. And now sports news. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are through to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations despite having one game left in the race to the competition. Libya, bottom of the Group D lot, defeated Rwanda by a lone goal in Kigali, meaning Nigeria has reached the finals of the tournament. In their game against Benin Republic, the Super Eagles battled a 1-1 draw, finishing the group as the leaders. With one more round of matches to go, Nigeria led the group, having bagged 11 points in 5 matches. Nigeria is followed by Benin Republic on 7 points and Rwanda on 5. And that was our news at 10, but just before we go, ensure the registration mark on your vehicle is clear and visible at all times. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website. It's www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget has organized a sensitization workshop for council managers on social protection policy from the 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas of the state. Lawmakers will end time from now receive the 2025 appropriation bill from the executive following the approval of a 47.9 trillion naira 2025 budget estimate by the Federal Executive Council. We also told you that Human Rights Watch, HRW, has accused Israel of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity by deliberately causing the mass displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. In sport, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are through to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, despite having one game left in the race to the competition. And then for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. This was compiled by Abiola Fagbalagun. Thank you so much, Lagos, for listening. In a bit, we shall be ushering in the surveyors for the benchmark. this beautiful Friday morning. Stay here.